Mic check 1 2 3 4. Is everybody sea levels? 1 2 3 4. You, everybody good back there? You got 2 and 1 on this one for me. For the new arrivals, 1 2 3 4. You guys hear audio back there? Everybody got white?
For both of you guys, just kind of talk about what happened over the last couple of weeks after the tough loss against Pittsburgh. What was the focus of the offense to kind of get back on the right track and make sure you came out and had a performance like you did today?
I think we had to put an emphasis on ball security. I think we had too many turnovers against Pitt. So then just to come out and play a clean game and rely a little bit on our defense if we need to, and just go out there and play sound fundamental football on an offensive side.
Really just coming back, we knew at some point in the season we were going to have to face adversity and just lean on each other and come out here and fight back and come out with a W. That's what we did.
For Jack, I wanted to get how much more effective is this offense when you establish Jawar running? And from Jawar, I wanted to ask you just how much personal responsibility do you feel for helping the offense get going?
Yeah, well, I think part of it was, we are able to make explosive plays down the field passing, and I think they played a little softer coverage-wise, which allowed us to, get good boxes to run the ball in the offensive line, freeing up holes for Jawar. And then, obviously, when Jawar gets it in the open space, something special is going to happen. So I think it's all complementary with each other. But I thought, we did a good job as far as the receiver room. They didn't get a ton of balls today, but just being able to make the play when their number was called was huge to see.
Going off what Jack said, we were just doing what they were giving us, and they were just dropping 8 most of the time, and the run was there. We have a great O-line that was blocking up everything. We had receivers not playing selfish, blocking downfield, so props to them. They weren't getting the ball, but they were doing well blocking.
But how much do you feel responsible for helping the offense get going?
I'm a team player, so I don't really feel like everything's on me. It's not just me. It's the O-line doing their job. I'm doing my job. Jack's doing making his reads, and the receivers doing their job, blocking downfield, playing without the balls.
For both of you, I guess we could start with Jawar and then go with Jack. This is another win over a top 20 team, in-conference win. You guys are continuing to sit near the top of the ACC standings. Are you starting to think about the ACC championship game, or is it easy to keep that distraction out of your mind?
Like we always say, it's 1 week at a time. Right now, we're just going to enjoy the win and then look forward to Virginia Tech. That's it.
No, we don't look ahead. We just look one game at a time. I think you're probably tired of hearing us come up here and say that we one-game season. So we don't look ahead. We don't count numbers, who's standing where. We just got to beat the next opponent on the schedule, and that's all we're focused about.
Do you have to stop yourself from thinking about how things would be different if he would have been able to play the entire game against Pitt?
That game's over. I go back to one game a season. We can't do anything about that game. The game's over. We lost it. Obviously, we would love to have Jawar out there. He's a really good player. But, we just got to move on from that. And we did a good job coming out this week and focusing on just Duke and winning the game.
Yeah, just adding on that, I feel like we didn't miss a beat out there in the running game. So I feel like it wouldn't matter if I was out there. Of course, I would want to be out there and make a play, but Isaac and Maurice did a great job 2 weeks ago in the run game, so we didn't miss a beat there.
You guys had a tough blow losing Renato for the season, but you've also talked about the depth of the offensive line many times. Was today kind of a showcase of that, considering how good Duke has been defensively?
Absolutely. We had multiple guys playing up there in the O-line, and obviously it hurts to lose Renato, a guy with so much experience and a good leader on our team. But just the guys that fill in, and you know what? They're unselfish guys. They weren't, complaining that they weren't getting snaps out on the field, but when their number was called and, they had to get thrown in there today, they did a good job, and we were able to control the line of scrimmage.
Jawar, the first 2 drives, it looked like everything went almost perfectly. Was there anything that you all were doing? The holes were there. And that's a pretty good defensive team that you were doing that against.
Yeah, I was just out there doing my job. Like I said, the O-line blocked it up very well, and I just took care of the rest. I always say they do the hard part, and I just do the easy part. So.
First time Duke's been shut out since October 16th of 2021. What do you see from your defense that makes them the way they've succeeded this season?
Yeah, I think our defense is really special. They do a lot of different things. Coach was just talking about that in the locker room. They play a lot of different coverages and different fronts and blitzes and all that. So I think they do a good job of being able to learn what to do. And then obviously we have talented players there at all positions on defense. And it's good for us to watch them go out there and play well. It gives us confidence. I think another thing is they play off the fans. I thought the fans did a good job of getting loud and when they're on the field, and I think that helps out a lot.
Jor, how important for you was it to have that open week between games to kind of, get recuperated and rehabbed and that sort of thing? And just, was there any hesitation? It didn't seem like it, but how are you feeling out there?
Definitely, I needed that week to get a little bit more healthy. I knew we had a big opponent coming up after the Pitt and bye week, and I told myself that no matter what, I was gonna go out there, put it all out there for the team, and try my best to go out there and have a good game.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I thought it was a really tremendous performance by our team today. We rose to the challenge. It's never fun to go into a bye week with a tough loss. I hate it. I know our players hate it. And I think in order to be, a good winner, you got to really hate losing. So it was a rough 2 weeks, but we put in the work. We worked hard to improve on some things that have hurt us, and I thought we made tremendous strides. So to come out here in front of a great fan support, great turnout, who are all into the game, and be really efficient on offense, be really physical up front, run the football at them, take advantage of what the defense has given us, set the tone early with 2 touchdowns early, and a 14-point lead against a team that doesn't like to be down like that, allowed our defense to kind of just go out there and dominate. So I just think, we throw a lot at our defense, ask them to do a lot. I think today we had some mixture of disguises and coverages and things we were doing and shifts and stemming that threw the defense off, and it paid off. So I think, our defensive coaches had a great week. Our players were into it, and we got after the quarterback. But I think being efficient on offense and getting the lead was the most important thing, not turn the ball over. Being smart with our special teams was efficient as well. We made all of our kicks. We kicked it out of the end zone. We covered kicks. I think we had 1 penalty, but, whether it was or not, we'll take a look at it. But just a really good day for us, and it was good to come out against a really good opponent that had fourth quarter leads and both their losses. And other than that, they played some outstanding football, and I thought we really came ready to play today. So very, very proud of our team.
Coach, before tonight, Louisville had never held a team scoreless for a ranked opponent. So to, hold Duke to 0 points for the whole game, just kind of talk about, especially with Riley Leonard out and playing and, seemingly healthy, what does that say about your defense and just the game plan put in over the last 2 weeks?
Well, I like the scheme of our defense. I like all the different things we do. Like I said, all the disguises, all the stemming, all the shifts, all the rotations after the snap, and I think it gave them problems. And I think, when you can get a lead and make a team throw it more than they would like to, it allows you to do that even more. So that's what's important. So today, like I said, we wanted to be efficient early, see if we could just not turn it over, get a lead, and help us kind of get back, with good momentum to set the tone. But our defense, we rotate guys in there. They play hard. I think, it was just a great day for us. When we shut down about everything they had, we got after the quarterback. We did a really good job. So I just think, a great effort. We got to build on it. But I just think all of it, believe it or not, ties together. The offense being efficient, running the ball, controlling the clock, and the defense being able to get after the quarterback.
Jeff, kind of going off of that, you've talked about making adjustments to defense, kind of playing the personnel. I guess, what areas of growth have you been most pleased with? And then just, I guess, with Jarvis and his situation, kind of update on what he was communicating to you and just kind of how he is.
Well, unfortunately, Jarvis has a foot that, it's not 100%, and, he wasn't able to kind of play a whole lot today. But you know what? Storm stepped in there, did a really good job. We played multiple other guys at corner as well. They held their own. We just got to continue to build on that, and I think that's why it's important to have depth, build depth throughout the season. We've done a good job with the defensive line, being able to rotate quite a few guys in there. We're trying to get that way at the linebacker position, and I think in the secondary we're building that as well. So, like I said, I think everything matters when you win, and I do think that the plan was really good. The disguise was really good, and then the aggression was really good.
Jeff, there are more than 350 former players here today before the game. Talked to a number of them, and they all thanked you for encouraging that and to come back. Why is that important for you to have the former players invested in like that?
Well, that's what it's all about, really. The guys that put the blood and sweat and tears into helping this program. All of them love it here. A lot of them still live here. A lot of them have moved on, but they love coming back. It was great to see them be here and put on a good performance. This is a special place. It's a great university with a lot of history and tradition. Super fans that want to see high level of championship games being played. And there's been some good players come through here that played at the highest level, and other players that were just great teammates that really loved their experience here. And that's why sports in general, but definitely the game of football, is such a great game. It kind of builds that camaraderie. Everybody wants to be the star and catch the ball, so that's great. But you need role players. You need guys that do other things, and you need guys that don't do as much, but they just love being a part of it, and they're ready when their number's called. And that's what these guys are that show up here. So it was great. We had a great turnout. I hope they enjoyed it as much as we did. We got to continue to keep pushing this thing forward, but all the help that they give us is tremendous, and we'll keep asking for it.
Jeff, it's kind of hard to get Jawar to even humble brag on himself. Can you kind of crystallize what he means when he's healthy in there for your offense?
Well, he is humble, and he's soft-spoken, and you wouldn't think he could do what he could do, but he was injured and didn't practice a lot, and I didn't know for sure if he's going to play. We don't want anybody to play that can't, but obviously if you can, we would love to have you out there, especially when you're a difference maker. So he stepped in and played at a high level. We relied on that running game today, and when you give him some space, he just got some wiggle and some quickness and some toughness as well. When they do hit him, he just kind of gets right back up. So I think it was a great day for offensive line, tight ends, and running backs, and our receivers were unselfish. Quarterback was efficient, but Jawar is a difference maker. So I think continuing to build the running back room with others, but he definitely has stepped in there and made some big time plays.
Jeff, you've obviously been known as a guy for a high-flying passing game, points, things of that nature. But you've talked before about how you've grown as a coach and your involvement with the defense and the rest of the team as well. The way this team plays, is that a reflection of your growth as a coach, the strength of the running game, defense, and play up front?
Well, I think it all ties into play. I've learned a lot along the ways, and scoring points and putting up passing yards and throwing it deep is always a lot of fun to do. But at the same time, the game has changed a little bit. Referees calling certain things in the secondary has changed a little bit, so you have to take what the defense gives you. And I just think we wanted to set the tone early. Teams play us for the pass quite a bit, so you have to be able to run the ball. And I think when teams going to start to play us for the run, now you got to be able to throw the ball. So I think in order to be a great team, you have to be able to do both, and you have to work at it. And I think I have grown at making sure that we still have the ability to work hard at being able to do both. And without question, having a defense is vital to success. So we've built that up to this point and had a really good stint on defense. We've had some really good moments. I think the package that we put together is good. It's multiple. It's able to do a lot of things, a lot of different ways. And, our defensive coaches, work with me, and we want to do things to confuse the quarterback. We want to do things to throw him off. That's who you have to beat. It's one thing, the play caller, but you got to beat the quarterback. He's the one that has the ball in his hands every play. He's got to make the quick decisions, quick reads, and you got to beat him. And I think our package today definitely was able to confuse him, and it allowed our D-line to kind of get in there and make a lot of good plays.
Yeah. You partially answered this, Jeff, but the way your defense was playing today, the way your running game was going, did it afford you to basically to be able to play maybe a little bit more low risk offensively? You didn't have to put the ball in harm's way. You didn't have to go for fourth downs, that sort of thing.
Well, we were low risk today, and yes, it is hard to do that for me. But last week we lost, and that was not very fun. And I just think, man, you get about 10 to 11 possessions a game, and if you turn over 3 or 4 of them, you're not going to win. So you got to just massage and balance that and make sure that you're efficient. And, would I love to throw it deep and get a bunch of long touchdown passes? Yes, but, we got to pick our moments to do that. And I just think the plan today was, hey, let's not ask Jack to do it all. Let's not ask the passing game to do it all. Let's rely on the offensive line, the running game. I knew the defense was probably going to be thinking, hey, this team throws it. We got to be prepared for the pass, and we've hit a lot of deep play actions throughout the year, which definitely softens things up for the run game. So we took advantage of it. And then, of course, when the defense is playing like that, then it really adds to a really complete game. So, we'll keep building on it. At some point, we're going to need both to win a game. And at some point, you're going to be down, and you're going to have to throw it. So we still got to be efficient in that as well.
Jeff, just kind of going off that point, using the bye week and just protecting the ball as an emphasis, how crucial was that as the main emphasis? Was that a primary emphasis for you? Because obviously you see how your running game does when you're able to hold on to the ball. And going off that pick game as well, was that kind of where that led you to go in that direction?
Priority number 1, and priority number 2, and priority number 3. So, yes, it was talked about a lot. It really wasn't pointing a finger. I mean, when you're the quarterback, the ball's in your hand. I mean, you're gonna make a couple mistakes, and sometimes they're completely your fault. Sometimes they're not, but they go on you. So when you win, you get a lot of credit. When you lose, you get a lot of blame. But it is important to just minimize turnovers and interceptions and fumbles and evaluate everyone individually. A screen pass, we can't take a sack and fumble on a screen pass. And, so I just think we wanted to value the football. Yes, it was talked about a lot, but you got to go out and do it. And when the ball's in your hand every play, I mean, and if I'm asking the quarterback to throw a lot and you're getting pressure and guys sometimes aren't getting wide open, it's not easy. So I just think we had a conservative plan that had the ability to open up if we needed to, but we didn't have to really get to that point because we were efficient early, got a lead, and our defense was playing well. Okay, thank you.
Ashton, you never did let their offense get comfortable, especially Leonard. And just talk about that, and I think it was late in the fourth quarter before they got past midfield.
Obviously our coaches have a good game plan. We didn't know which quarterback we were going to get, but we prepared. for Riley. He's a good quarterback. He's got great pocket awareness. But you know, at the end of the day, we just got to play our brand. I think we displayed that. Just get after the quarterback. That's one of our goals. Stop the run. Allowed us to put that pressure on. Allowed to do that.
Brian, if you could just kind of talk about losing Renato just before the game in the warm-ups last week. I'm sure it kind of throws everything for a loop. So just kind of talk about how the O-line got together and started to mesh without him, then come out and help Jawar do what he did today. It's got to give you confidence in the guys moving forward.
Absolutely, yeah. Really hate it for Renato. You know, I love him. I played with him for 3 years now. You just really hate to see that happen, especially in warm-ups, kind of a freak deal. So he's had a really good attitude about it, and it's been awesome seeing you know, the guys step up. You know, it always is a next man mentality. So Austin, Josh Black, John Paul, several guys have stepped up and really played well this week, and you know, I'm just really proud to see that. And it's, you know, credit to coaches, a credit to those guys, just you know, being able to step up and being ready for it, preparing all season like, you know, they are going to play the game even when they're not. So I'm really proud of them for that.
Ashton, Jeff's talked about how, you know, just making different adjustments to defense and everything that he's been able to throw at you guys. Where do you feel like you guys have grown the most in terms of learning the playbook and now being able to hold a Duke team to, you know, shut out and then as few as yards as you guys did?
Wait, can you rephrase? Sorry, I got lost.
No, just where do you feel like you guys have shown the most improvement and growth defensively this season in terms of, you know, learning a new system and now kind of executing?
I mean, I really feel like, I mean, it comes down to us playing together. I mean, we get together frequently, you know, study the playbook, try to implement, because, I mean, we have a lot of stuff coming at us every week. So, obviously, we're preparing for a great offense. So, just getting in the film room, I think, just getting together, really playing cohesively, that's really the difference. That's what allows us to pick it up.
Brian, just a question for you. You know, having Jawar back, from an offensive line perspective, what does he bring to the offense, and what's it like, you know, being able to see him make plays out there?
Yeah, it's incredible to watch. You know, we, as a whole, I think we have a really incredible running back room. You know, those guys, the other guys, Maurice, Isaac, they've stepped up really, really well for us, and are really good backs as well. But, you know, everyone knows Jawar's a really special player, and it's, you know, it's awesome being able to block for him and watch him make those plays. And obviously it's huge having him back, you know, just having that 3-guy rotation or 4-guy, however many guys we have rotating in. And, you know, really, really just proud of him for stepping up, fighting through what he's doing. And, you know, he's an incredible player. So.
For both you guys, you came off a loss. After you lost that game to Pitt, were you guys a little salty? Did it motivate you, or do you have to just approach it like every game is the same and just try and get better?
Yeah, I think it obviously motivated us quite a bit, especially going into a bye week and having that sitting on us for 2 weeks. I think it was good for us, you know, a little extra motivation. But you know, as Coach Brohm always preaches, it's a 1-game season. So whether you win or lose, you know, after a very short period of time, you got to go in the next week and be ready to win the next game. So it was you know, we moved on pretty fast from it and just learned from the mistakes that we made and came out obviously and played really well today. So.
This one's for all three of you guys. How would you describe the attitude and physicality that your position groups play with? Because against Duke, Notre Dame, 2 teams known for being physical up front, you've kind of controlled both of those efforts and shown it throughout the year.
I mean, coming to this game, at least from the D-line group, we weren't worried about the score. Our main goal was to be the most physical team out there and to outplay their defense. You know, we come down, we always heard about their defense this, their defense that. So coming into the game, it was just more about who can be the most physical, and, you know, that was our main goal. It wasn't about getting stopped. It was about getting stopped, but it wasn't about nothing else but just being the most physical team out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's been our goal. Coach English preaches that. Our coach preaches that. We want to exert our will on people week to week. So I definitely think that's just something we live by. Really, we want to present a brand of physicality that is unmatched, basically.
Yeah, I think it's the same for us on the offensive side of the ball on the O-line. We're always, the goal is to, and the plan is to be the most physical front and control the line of scrimmage, and we all know that you win the games up front on both sides of the ball. So that's always a focus and something that is talked about every week. And, you know, just being able to dominate the guy in front of you, dominate your assignment, and go execute the plays called. So that's always a focus for us.
It's for Jermaine and Ashton. At some point, you guys look up at the scoreboard and you see the 0 still up there, and you guys, okay, we got a chance at a shutout. At what point does it, and then how much emphasis goes on to, hey, guys, let's finish with the 0?
I mean, obviously you're aware of it. The goal of every game is to get a shutout. But obviously we were aware of it around halftime. But, I mean, really, we just got to focus on the series now. Like, it's not about thinking that far in advance because anything can happen. It's football. They put on pads too. So I just think we just kept the energy high, and that's just what got us to that point.
Yeah, like Ashton said, like it's in the back of our head when we see, you know, the 0 up there. But at the same time, we know we still got to go out there and still, you know, put some stops and turn the ball, get some takeovers and stuff like that. But I mean, it's in the back of our head. We know it, but it's something we go for every game. But I mean, all that matters is, like our coach said, just the next play and the one in front of us.
Jermaine, obviously injuries has been something you've struggled with for a few seasons now. I guess, how do you feel, and what has that process been like for you in terms of just getting healthy enough to stay on the field?
First and foremost, I just want to thank the athletic staff, the training staff here, and the coaches for, you know, catering to me and allowing me to get, you know, healthy and, you know, so as of right now, you know, I'm starting to get, you know, more healthy and stuff and just, you know, a little more loose. So, I mean, all the credit goes to the athletic training staff, Sean and his guys, and Coach Brohm and the way they catered to me and allowed me to get healthy.
Thank you all.